Maybe we can meet in here. Yeah, that would be oh shit, you ain't seen nothing. Not only are they good, they are drops and right. Yeah, and just you can't fuck with them, they'll break your back. But other than that, they are gorgeous. They are like just like that. That's so much fun.
All right, firefighters, if I could have all competitors please clear the course. All competitors, all firefighters, please clear the course.
Good morning, everyone.
That's good. I was just seeing because she's taking a step right there to you. Yeah. You don't want to go in a straight shot. Right. That's wet.
Okay, Serge Wayne is working on the flag, so he may be asking you some questions. You want to make sure he has them all.
We get all competitors to clear the course, all competitors to clear the course so we can get this started this morning. Tandems are up, 8 o'clock.
Good morning from Montgomery, Alabama. It is the 3M Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge World Championships. I'm Maria Prekagis, along with the voice of the challenge, Hewen DeRiggs. And Hewen, yesterday, big day, we crowned world champions, individual and teams. And I have to give you kudos. You called the time for the male world champion, 117.
I sure did, and Shane Farmer actually brought that to my attention today. I called a 117.4, and the actual time was a 117.7. So Jake Lanier, you owe me 0.3 of a second, and I'm going to have to exact that out of you today, sir. But no, it was a great day. Everybody really pushed hard. Those last 10 races, there was nothing short of amazing. It was really excitement. The energy was palpable, and the crowd really got into it. So, just a really wonderful day.
And now this morning we're going to do the tandem races, and then this afternoon we'll be back on ESPN3 at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern for the relays. So the tandems and relays, it gets exciting.
Oh, absolutely. The tandems and relays, this is the time where these athletes can really shine because they're breaking down the course. As we said before, 1/5 the work, 5 times the fun. So it's definitely going to be a great time for tandems, for relays, and to really see how each athlete can break down the course and, work on their strengths and actually work on some of their weaknesses as well. So we're going to see some great times today, and I can't wait.
I can't wait either. First, though, we are going to start with a prayer from Montgomery Fire and Rescue's Chaplain Ward.
Thank you. Please remove your hats and bow your heads. Most gracious and blessed Heavenly Father, we just come to you and say thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, Father, to work this competition, Father. We just lift up to you the competitors, Father, that you would just keep them safe, keep them from harm. We ask also, Father, for our brothers and sisters who are staying home and protecting the front, Father, that you would just keep them protected and safe. We ask at this time, Father, that you would give us your grace, Father, that this thing would that we do today would be to glorify you. And Father, we ask these things in your holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
And now, with the singing of our national anthem, Montgomery, Alabama's own Quincy Jones. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flights of the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Quincy. Wow.
Doesn't that sound like, it's party time now?
It
Quincy
is.
Jones, great job. Local member here from Montgomery, Alabama with a great singing voice. Thank you to Quincy Jones.
I love his name.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start things off, and I want to introduce a third member of our broadcast team, Jim de Grand Prix, who's going to let us know who's running all day long. Jim, who are we starting out with?
Maria, first up on the course on the blue side, Team 6364 Bills with Bill Christensen and William Gahn. On the red side, Team Old Germany. Both of these are over 60 tandem teams. On the red with Norbert Holst and Hans-Jürgen Vogt.
All right, so we've got 6364 Bills. I like that name. 6364 Bills going up against Old Germany. You know, Maria, I also did want to give a really big shout out and a really big blessing to the firefighters that are fighting the wildfires right now in California. I believe they've got about 4,000 firefighters out there right now. So, I know they're out there working right now. They're not watching this live stream. So really big shout out to those firefighters, and hopefully they can all get home safely, fighting those fires and protecting those people and those structures out there in California. All right, looks like we got a false start already. False start on the red side.
This race brought to you by 3M Scott Fire and Safety. More than ready. That's 3M Scott Fire and Safety.
All right, we've got a hammer placement penalty on the blue side. Both sides are down to 2 penalties, 1 penalty each. We've got the red side down 5 seconds. Blue side is down 2 seconds. The 63 and 64 Bills, Bill Christensen and William Gaughan. Old Germany, Norbert Holst and Hans-Jürgen Volt. On the red side, they are down 5 seconds. Looks like they will be able to walk away with a win on this race, finishing the course in 2 minutes, 25.90 seconds. (63-64) Bills crossing that finish line with a 2-second penalty at 2 minutes, 51 seconds. Moving right along, who's up there next, Jim?
Next up, Ewan, both over 60 tandem teams on the blue course. That's Levi Airport with Tom Reed and Jacques Breton. On the red side, Senior Express with Chuck LeBlanc and John Tillett.
John Tillett doing very well last night, receiving an award. He received a nice award from the crew here. Also placed in the over 60 World Champions, so great job to John Tillett. Great job to Jacques Breton as well.
This race brought to you by Lion. Ready for action. That's Lion.
All right, so we've got Levi Airport going up against Senior Express. All right, so we've got Senior Express, Chuck LeBlanc, and John Tillett. These guys mean business. Chuck LeBlanc at 69 years young, John Tillett, 64 years young. John Tillett, one of the crew members here at the 3M Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge. Chuck LeBlanc pushing strong. Boy, I don't care what anyone says. These men do not look their age. Chuck LeBlanc does not look 69, nor does Jacques Breton. All right, so we've got Senior Express crossing the line 2 minutes, 0.53 seconds. Right behind him is Levi Airport. Levi Airport crossing that finish line, no penalties, 2 minutes, 18.36 seconds. Really quick to anyone in the stands, if you had vehicles parked behind the stands and your vehicle is not there now, no harm, no foul. It has been relocated to behind the Embassy Suites. So it's just been moved there as there is no parking behind the stands. So no harm, no foul. If your vehicle is not there, don't worry. You have not received a penalty. It is now in the parking lot behind the Embassy Suites. Montgomery made sure they made to take good care of that.
That would be a big penalty, Jim.
That would be a big penalty. All right. Up next, 2 over 60 tandem teams as well on the blue course. Southern Gentlemen with Kenny Sott and Dwayne Cheek. On the red course, Too Good to Retire 60-plus tandem team with Steve McAleer and David Hawks.
David looked at me this morning and said, "It is too early." I feel your pain.
This upcoming race brought to you by Losberger, creative and aesthetic tent solutions. Product quality sets us apart from any other tent company. That's Losberger.
I want to give a big shout out to all the Montgomery Fire and Rescue cadets. You'll see them resetting the course. You can't miss them. They're in red from head to toe. We could not have done it without them this week. They've been running up and down the course, resetting it. Fastest times ever. We've never had any worlds go this fast and this smooth.
No, absolutely. Those cadets, and I've been saying it all week, they have literally been instrumental in getting this course reset and get everything running so smoothly. I mean, cadets, my hat's off to you guys. We could not have done it this week without you guys. I mean it. I mean that to truthfully, the truth. We've needed their help, and they've really come to shine. Setting up this course, running down Rescue Randy's. I mean, I've seen them racing with Rescue Randy up and down the course, throwing it back in the cradle and getting him down to the start line. So big shout out to you guys. Big thank you to you as we have the Southern Gentlemen and Too Good to Retire on the tower right now. Too Good to Retire.
Although, I hear rumor, Mr. Hawks keeps telling me he's retiring, but I put a plea out to his wife. on camera a couple days ago.
So she won't let him.
No, I think I think I have to convince her to let him continue.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We have been in Montgomery all week, and they have taken care of us. The Montgomery Chamber of Commerce, great friends of ours. We've been to Montgomery a few times in the past few years, and I tell you, runs like a tight operation.
Yes, definitely a well-oiled machine down here in Montgomery, Alabama. I mean, between Chief and his crew, between all the cadets and everybody, they've been doing very, very well.
I finally saw the gals that I work with from the Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce yesterday for the first time. We have been here, they've been competing since Monday, and that's how busy they are. Finally, I saw them yesterday.
All right, so Too Good to Retire, crossing the line with a 151.85. Right behind them, the Southern Gentlemen with a 206.25. Jim, I'm starting to see some really good names come out here. We've got Too Good to Retire. We've got Southern Gentlemen. Who do we have next?
Coming up next, 2 co-ed tandem teams, Ewan. On the blue side, that's Tortoise and Fat Hair with Michael Baca and Sarah Frazier. On the red side, Mighty Mouse co-ed, Big Sky, Lake Charles with Shane Farmer and Sherry Audouin.
All right, so we've got the Tortoise and the Fat Hair, Matthew Baca and Sarah Frazier. Matthew Baca is self-proclaimed fat and fast. I don't think so.
That's a good name, Tortoise and Fat Hair.
Yep. Even though I don't think she's going to be calling herself Tortoise for much longer. Sarah Frazier, she changed that name to Cat Eyes. And if you've seen her, you know why. They're going up against Mighty Mouse and Big Sky from Lake Charles, Shane Farmer and Sheree Audouin, the 2019 over 40 female champion, Sheree Audouin.
She's actually 49, so just think what she'll do next year when she's in the over 50 category.
Correct. Absolutely. Matt Baca and Shane Farmer on that tower. Matt Baca moving well. You know, Matt Baca's every bit of 6'5", and he moves down that tower very lightning quick. Matthew Baca finishes that tower in 37 seconds. That's the fastest donut I've ever seen come off the tower. He hands off to his partner, Sarah Cat Eyes Frazier. Mighty Mouse gets the handoff from Big Sky, Sheree Audouin from Louisiana Hellfighters. Going up against her competitor and good friend, Sarah Frazier. Both ladies on that All-American fully charged hose drag. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, Marie. They have great form.
They're not as big as some of the male firefighters, so as you always say, you have to have great form to get through.
You have to have great form. I mean, it is imperative for these ladies to have good form with that fully charged hose because of the weight. You've got Sheree Audouin, the world champion. Sheree Audouin actually has a good technique for once she gets to that marker. She counts off those steps and gets across that finish line. She gets across that finish line with a 1:48.12. Tortoise and the Fat Hair crossing the line with a 1:45.34. Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Up next, 2 more co-ed tandem teams on the blue course. That's Old School Helmets with Magnus Metsch and Vera Leica. On the red side, Austria meets Germany mix with Thomas Bogovitz and Marie Schumann.
Great job to Mighty Mouse. Co-ed team, Big Sky and Lake Charles. They've been running for 12 years together. Shane Farmer and Cherie Ardoin, 12 years they've been running together. Great job to both teams. So we got old school helmets going against the Austria meets Germany mix. You know, Maria, if I'd have known any better, I think there's some barbecuing going on out here.
When I was walking to the course this morning from my great room at the Spring Hills Suites, I was like, it smells like camp. It's a little humid. I smelled some fire going, maybe a barbecue. I go, I think I'm going to summer camp this morning.
Absolutely. It definitely does smell like camp out here. Everybody's having a good time. You know, the weather has definitely been holding out. We had a little rain at the end of the day yesterday, which literally happened right as we finished the last race. A little rain overnight, but you know, the weather gods are smiling down upon us right now, keeping the course nice and dry.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Everybody, cross those fingers. We need good weather for the rest of the day today as old school helmets and Austria-Germany mix getting ready to finish off that Kaiser, handing off to their partners. We've got Marie Schumann and Vera Leica. Marie Schumann, one of our newest Lions Den members. She got Lions Den this week here at Worlds. For those who don't know, Lions Den is considered our all-star team, our all-star squad. For the ladies, they have to finish sub 2 minutes, sub 3 minutes actually. One of the ladies finishes under 3 minutes, she will become one of the elite in the Lions Den. So Marie Schumann, she finished in under 3 minutes. So great job to her. You know, that's a great technique that Old School Helmets has right there, giving his partner that cue on the eyes. They're getting close. That co-ed tandem finishes with a 1:43.19 Old School Helmets. Right behind them is Austria meets Germany mix with a 1:45.04.
So the co-ed tandem time to beat would be 1:43.19. Let's keep our eyes out. And Jim, see if the next team can go faster than 1:43.19.
You bet. Next two teams up, also co-ed tandem. On the blue course, Team Hex Red with Hayden Kinzett and Isabel Whitaker. On the red side, Team S'mores with Aaron Peering and Cameron Williams.
All right, so we've got the Royal New Zealand Air Force team, Hex Red, Hayden Kinzett, we call him Spoon, and Isabel Izzy Whitaker, going up against S'mores, Aaron Peering, and Cameron Williams. You know, Maria, I must say, I was looking at flights trying to go out to New Zealand just to check it out, because Spoon was saying, look, you got to come out, you got to come to New Zealand, you got to come check us out. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go look up some flights and see how long it would take. It would take 30 hours. 30 hours to travel over there. Only 20 hours back, obviously, because you gain a day. But 30 hours. A flight to San Francisco, then a flight from San Fran straight to New Zealand. I mean, that's a trip.
It is. They traveled over 27 hours to get here. You'd have to come from New York, so put a couple more hours on that. And I don't know how all of these athletes, representing 14 countries outside the U.S., traveled so far, dealt with a little bit of jet lag, and then came out and just gave great performances and runs all week.
Absolutely. Big hats off to all of our competitors. As the smell of camp and barbecue fills the air, whoever's cooking, you guys are going to have to come bring the announcer some. Okay, so Aaron Peering and Cameron Williams, you know, they were out here practicing earlier, And I must tell you, Aaron was yelling at his teammate Cameron, trying to push her down. Cameron Williams, she closes those eyes and she pushes forward. Cameron Williams with excellent form. Co-ed tandem record is 120.34. They're just shy of that. But the Royal New Zealand Air Force team, Hayes Shred and S'mores, putting down some good solid times right now.
Look at Cameron's dummy drag. Wow.
Oh yeah, Cameron, she's strong. They crossed that line with a 134.49. Team Hayes Shred crosses with a 139.26. So right now, that 134, that is the time to beat. Great job. My goodness. Jim, who do you have next?
Coming up next, two more co-ed tandem teams on the blue course. That's Hall Pass with Anna Rusevic and Lance Conroy. On the red course, Slow and CZ mixed tandem with Patrick Steffelin and Pavlina Havlanova. This race brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. Availability, reliability, and ease. That's Sunbelt Rentals.
All right, so we've got Hall Pass, one of my favorite teams. Hall Pass, the Croatian sensation Anna Rusevic with Lance Conroy, going with the Slow and Che mix. Co-ed tandem of Patrick Steffelin and Pavlina Havlanova. Maria, the co-ed record is 120.34. Again, we are short of that, but we're getting close on these times, I must say. Time to beat right now is 134.49. We might have our first place winner, our lead winner right now at a 132.48 for the Slow and Che mix. Hall Pass finishes with a 137.70.
The times, they just keep getting faster. Jim.
They do. On the blue side, we have co-ed tandem team Domen and Havana with Domen Pavlik and Hanna Havlikova. On the right side, team Eska co-ed tandem with Soren Wozok and May Tomervold. This race brought to you by All-American Hose. Hands down the toughest, longest lasting product in its class. That's All-American Hose.
Come on, Hannah, you got this.
All right, so we've got Domen and Hannah and Eska Co. Tandem team of Soren Warsaw. Soren Warsaw in that orange helmet, he is a crew member here at the Firefighter Combat Challenge, as well as one of Germany's best firefighters. His teammate is May Tomervold, who he just handed off to. May Tomervold, a Lion's Den member. She is one of our elite here at the Firefighter Combat Challenge. May Tomervold, she's also the European national champion for the ladies. So you're seeing some champions race right now in Soren Warsaw, May Tomervold, Domen Pavlik, and Hanna Havlikova. Right now, they're looking to see if they can go for that record. Let's see what they can do. The co-ed tandem record right now is 1:20.34. They may be just shy of that, but they're going to put down some strong times. Domen and Hanna and Soren and May. The time to beat right now is 1:32.48. So Domen and Hanna cross the line with a 1:28.92. Soren and May cross the line with a 1:30.72. Great job to both racers. I like that.
Looking good, 128.92 with 2 more co-ed tandems to go. And we'll be crowning a world champion.
Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Hewen up next on the blue course. That's co-ed tandem Crossing Borders with Alyssa Carvello and Sean Sullivan. On the red course, Special K and Cocoa Puff. Co-ed tandem with Ryan Fitzgerald and Kelty May Nickel.
You know, Maria, I did finally get some information on all of that food smelling good over there. It's a cook-off that they've got going on right now. It's only for the judges, unfortunately. All that food that's smelling so good, it's only for the judges. It's called the Top Chef Cook-Off. They've got some local celebrities, some local judges. They've got 4 to 5 dishes. It's a cash prize, about 4 teams from 4 different firehouses. So, you know how, it's always known that firemen are always really good cooks. So they've got some local chefs over there. They even said they have a legend. They said that this guy, when he cooks, he turns anything to gold. His name is Warren Biggs. So Warren Biggs allegedly is over there cooking up some good food. Warren Biggs, I must say, if you can hear my voice, you're definitely going to have to make some food for these announcers over here in Hewen DeRiggs and Miss Marie Precages. We need some food to test it out, too, to see if anything you have turns to gold, sir. Just throwing it out there.
I'll be a judge right here.
All right, so we've got Crossing Borders and Special K out there. All right, so Ryan Fitzgerald hands off to his teammate, Kelty May Nickel. Sean Sullivan passed off to his teammate, Alyssa Carvello. All right, so we've got a 2-second penalty on Special K and Cocoa Puff. They did have a hose placement penalty.
Remember, the time to beat is 128.92.
Special K and Cocoa Puff getting really close to that time. They crossed the line with a 127.35, but they did have that 2-second penalty. So that penalty brings them up to 129. Ouch, 129.35. They would have been in the lead right there.
One more co-ed tandem to go, Jim. Will they beat the 128.92 to take the championship?
On the blue side, that is right. One more co-ed tandem team, Euro Trip, Sebastian Voco and Brittany Hoffman. On the red course, that's Brampton Fire co-ed, Katie and Danny with Danny Palmer and Catherine Ross.
Catherine Ross from Brampton Fire with her teammate Danny Palmer. Catherine Ross, one of the only females in the Firefighter Combat Challenge to go under 2 minutes. One of the elite. She actually shaved a few seconds off her time. What'd you have? You had a 1:59, then you had a 1:55. I mean, you know, that's just 4 seconds. Who are we kidding here? Definitely one of our elite athletes, Miss Catherine Ross. Sponsored by Stink Bombs. That's her sponsor, guys, not her name. She's not Stinky. That's who she's sponsored by.
I told her the other day, I said, I almost threw you under the bus. You went by with your host drag, and Hugh and I were like, whoo! But I have to call him out. It was actually Hobbs' New Mexico team who had all their gear out right behind us.
Oh, yeah. You know, these firefighters, they push hard, and their gear is a direct reflection of how hard they push.
Get low, Brent! Come on! That's it! Drive! Nice! Oh, yeah! Go, Brent! Go! Come on, Brittany! Here we go, Brittany! Get him on! Run, Brent! Run, Brent! Run! Like that!
Look at this, Hewan.
You know what? I think they may win this. You know, that time to beat, that was what was that, a 128? They're getting close. You know, Katie just loves to win. They crossed that line with a 124.21. Right behind them is Eurotrip with a 127.78. Great job to both winners, both racers doing an outstanding job.
Time of 124.21. Well, Katie, you just earned your second world champion, co-ed tandem world champion. How does that feel?
It feels so good. Feels good to do it with someone on my department that trains with me all year. So I'm just really proud of him. He pulled it together.
How do you two train together, work together? How does that all work out?
So we're on the same shift. We train every morning after shift, push each other really hard.
Well, congratulations. The new co-ed tandem champions, Brampton Fire co-ed, Danny Palmer and Katie Ross. That's Katie's second world championship medal.
I tell you, Katie just wins. That's all she knows how to do. Great job to Katie Ross. I mean, that's her second world championship this week?
And remember, she's one of the only females that did sub 2 minutes, which is really tough to get. So it's not surprising. And she trains with Danny, which is great. After you do a whole shift, they go train.
Katie, I think we're going to change your name to Ross the Boss. That's your new name now, Katie. Katie Ross the Boss. She knows how to do it. Who do we have coming up next, Jim?
Coming up next on the blue course, over 55 tandem team Old Blood and Guts with Al Ernstner and Tommy Osborne. On the blue side, a chief and an old English gentleman with Randy Kalin and Mark Millward.
All right, so this is Randy Kalin's 25th consecutive year competing here at Worlds. I mean, that's a feat in and of itself. I mean, this is the 28th World Challenge, and Randy Kalin has been racing for 25 of them. Not a bad stat right there, not bad at all.
This race brought to you by Real Wheels, made in America. That's Real Wheels.
Tommy, hustle!
Al Ernstner and Tommy Osborne. Tommy Osborne with a 4-stroke Kaiser. You know, I had a chance to take a look at Tommy Osborne yesterday, and they are the current world record holders right now. Old Blood and Guts, Al Ernstner and Tommy Osborne. The over 50 tandem world record is 120.25, set by Al Ernstner and Tommy Osborne.
It was set right here in Montgomery in 2015.
Absolutely.
Go, Randy, come on.
So the world record holders crossed that line with a 1:32. Let's double check that time right there. Old Blood and Guts crossed that line with a 1:32.16. Right behind him is a Chief and an Old English Gentleman with a 1:48.81. Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Up next, Hewen on the blue course. This is over 55 tandem team Richmond, London with David Hawks and Steve Baker. On the red course, Old School Team Tommy with Rick Portillis and Kenny Ward.
All right, so Old School Team Tommy, Rick Portillis and Kenny Ward. Rick Portillis actually has a helmet that's been painted by Matt Baca, and I got a chance to take a look at that helmet, and it's pretty interesting. Rick Portillis, you got a nice helmet by Matt Baca. He really took care of you and painted that helmet up really nice with wonderful accents.
This race brought to you by Bill Fox and Sons, the Super Bowl ring for our champion athletes. That's Bill Fox and Sons.
All right, so we've got Richmond, London, and Old School Team Tommy. All right, so we got Old School Team Tommy and Richmond, London racing hard. Old School Team Tommy, Rick Portillis and Kenny Ward. Right now, the time to beat is 1:32.16, set by Al Ertzner and Tommy Osborne, Old Blood and Guts. That's a hard name right there. Rick Portillis, Kenny Ward, crossing the line with a 1:44. Let me double check that time. Rick Portillis, Old School Team Tommy, 1:43.81. Richmond, London crosses with a 1:54.51. Jim, who do you got coming up next?
Coming up next, Hewen on the blue side, this is over 450 tandem team Bratwurst and Bacon with Kevin Duncan and Olive Ludwig. On the red course, Smiles for Miles over 50 tandem with Cliff Walker and Diamond De Bolero. This race brought to you by SKB, the premier all-weather lifetime guaranteed indestructible case system. That is SKB.
Hey, firefighters, don't forget we will be giving away an SKB gun case today. Today will be the last day we give away the SKB gun case, so make sure you get your raffle tickets from Miss Amy or Miss Amanda in the Combat Wear Zone trailer. There were a couple firefighters yesterday who did not get their tickets. Make sure you get your tickets today. If you want to win your gun case, make sure you go out there and you get your ticket so we can draw your name for the raffle later on today. As we've got Smiles for Miles and Bratwurst and Bacon. Bratwurst and Bacon, are you guys cooking with Warren Biggs over there? What's happening?
They're going to be cooking on the course. Okay, no breakfast, and this smell is killing me. I think I'm hungry.
That's what I'm saying. Legendary Warren Biggs, I know you hear me. You know, he's going to come over here with like 2 big plates. He was like, look, I couldn't have you keep calling me out, man. Speaking of food, I know all the firefighters want to send a big thank you to Montgomery Fire Rescue. Montgomery Fire and the team over there, all the chiefs, all the higher ups, they actually had food for the cadets. They had food for all the firefighters this morning at about 7 o'clock. So if you haven't heard it already, Montgomery Fire and Rescue, big thank you for having that food out there for everybody. That was greatly appreciated. So Maria, you missed the Montgomery Fire's breakfast. I mean, they had all sorts of plates going on, biscuits and gravy and stuff.
I saw, I think there were grits on the plate as well. Yeah, these cadets, we have to keep them going with a lot of food because they are running.
Got to keep the cadets going. Got to keep them going.
At 9 o'clock, we're going to see the Montgomery County Firefighter Explorers run the course. 9 o'clock. You guys have 15 minutes.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a good to see. We've got the Explorers running. You know, they're from the Montgomery County School District. Between the ages of 16 and 18, you know, high school kids definitely running this course. You know, I'd definitely like to know what it's like for them, you know, balancing school and being an explorer. You know, because that definitely takes a sacrifice, them having to come out here and train when, you know, anybody from 16 to 18, they want to do a lot of other things. So I'd definitely like to get in their head and see exactly what it takes for them to do this. Jim, who do you have coming up next, sir?
Next, 2 over 45 tandem teams on the blue course. That is Colt 45 with Stephen Schreck and Richard Smith. On the red side, Yukon Austria Connection with Myron Penner and Andreas Gasner. This race brought to you by Lion. We've got your back. That's Lion.
Let's go. Let's go, Stevie. You're explosive, buddy. You're explosive. Let's go. Here we go. Push. Nice. Good power. Big pulls. Yep. Get that rope out of the way. There you go. Get down. Let's go. Push. Here we go.
All right, so Colt 45 finishes that tower in 41 seconds. Yukon Austria Connection in about 43. Colt 45, Stephen Schreck and Richard Smith. Myron Penner and Andreas Gasner looking really strong.
Dig, Rich. Dig, Rich. Let's go, big dummy. Let's go.
Richard Smith and Stephen Schreck putting down a really solid time here.
Here we go. Stay up. Dig, Richie. Got it, kid.
Oh yeah, that's happening.
Next up, the base of the course right now, 2 over 50 tandem teams on the blue course. That's Hamilton's Cash and Dino with Dean Morrow and Michael Cascioli. On the red course, the Doctor and Nurse Practitioner with Russell Kresnitsky and David Bowman. Thank you.
All right, so we've got David Bowman and Russell Krasniewski, 2 gentlemen that world champion placed just yesterday.
This race is brought to you by 3M Scott Fire and Safety. You build strength, we build confidence. That's 3M Scott Fire and Safety.
Can we get Chief Stewart to the front of the course, please? Chief Stewart to the front of the course.
All right, so we've got the doctor and the nurse practitioner, Russell Krasniewski and David Bowman. So I'd like to know which one of you is the nurse practitioner? So the over 50 tandem team, they're pushing hard. Wait a minute. They're getting across that line, the over 50 tandem, crossing with a 119.89, a 119.89 for that tandem team. Wait a second, let me double check that time. Over 50 tandem with a 119.89. That is the new world record. That is the new world record for the over 50 tandem. New world record for the over 50 tandem. The doctor and the nurse practitioner, I mean, these guys just win world records like it's nothing. Over 50 tandem of the doctor and the nurse practitioner with a 119.89, beating the old world record of 120.25 set by Old Blood and Guts, Al Urchner and Tommy Osborne. So how about that, you guys? Again.
All right, guys, real quick. Russell, that's like your... Oh. Oh, gotcha. But what's it like to run? What's it like to run together?
It's beautiful. I mean, we've been friends for over a decade, and you don't realize how fast time goes. And next thing you know, we're a decade later running together, and hopefully that holds as the time, and maybe we got, who knows? We'll have to wait and see where the results go.
And then you're going to run some relays later today, too.
Yes, we are. It's going to be fun.
David Bowman, man, a few words. Hugs for all.
She hates sweaty hugs, so give it to her.
I know, Russell Krasniewski, you.
I give sweaty hugs. Anybody wants when they're free.
I told them he's the sweatiest man out here, so thank you. Thank you for those hugs. Jim, who do we have coming up next?
Up next, Maria on the blue side. This is Team Ukraine Kiev with Volodymyr Dudka and Alexander Baran. On the red side, Montgomery Fire Rescue, Harold and Kumar with Willie Gill and Randy Thomas Jr.
Let's go, T.
All right, so we've got Ukraine Kiev and Montgomery Fire, Harold and Kumar, Willie Gill and Randy Bam Bam Thomas Jr. going up against Volodymyr Dudka and Alexander Baran. All right, so Harold and Kumar, Randy Thomas Jr. on that delineator course, trying to catch the Ukraine Kiev.
Jim, the rain is holding off thus far. Fingers crossed. Who's coming up next in the tandem races?
Coming up next, 2 male tandem teams, Maria, on the blue course, Fort Gordon, Big Sky with Shane Farmer and Brandon Cunningham. On the red course, Waukegan Fire with Tom Klassen and Nate Skews. This race brought to you by CrossTech, creative technologies worldwide. A commitment to innovation shapes everything we do. That is CrossTech.
Alrighty, before we get the next tandem started, I am with the world champion, over 60. Can I see some ID, please? Steve McAleer and my friend Dave Hawks. Of course, Steve's my friend too, but I know your family. So you ran 2 tandems almost back to back. How are you feeling?
Do I have to tell you? My legs are still shaking. It's all good though. It's, you know what? I love doing it. This is my last kick at the can, so it doesn't matter.
I still don't believe it's your last kick in the can. And how much fun is it to go home with some hardware?
Oh, great. It's always nice to win, and I guess in this sport, you don't know when you cross the line. Anything can happen. So.
I love it. Well, congratulations. Let's give it up for the over 60. Again, let's check their licenses. Tandem male world champion, too good to retire, 60 plus. You're not retiring, Dave. I'm telling you right now. Jim, who's up next?
Up next, 2 male tandem teams on the blue course. Brampton Fire, Ian and Danny with Ian Pringle and Danny Palmer. On the red course, Montgomery Fire Rescue, front hand, backhand with DeMichael Seals and Denver Thompson. This race brought to you by Real Wheels, made in America. That's Real Wheels.
All right, what a race. What a race by Brampton Fire, Ian and Danny, and Montgomery Fire front and backhand. Montgomery Fire finishes with a 113.49. Brampton Fire, Ian and Danny finishes with a 113.62.
Nice effort. So, Hewan and Jim, we're gonna not take a break, but we have a relay team, a couple of them out there. It's the Montgomery County Firefighter Explorers versus Still on Probation.
Yes, they would be considered probies. Is that the word? Can we still use that? Still on probation? I believe they're going to do well.
And I want to welcome Mayor Strange. He is going to be cheering them on from the great city of Montgomery. Thanks to Chief Stewart for organizing this. Should be fun to watch. Look at him go up there. Montgomery County Firefighter Explorers on the blue, still on probation on red. All right, everyone who's watching, let's cheer them on a little. Let's hear from the stands. Remember, the Explorers are still in high school, so let's hear it for them.
We've got a shower. We've got light showers on the red side.
We do. Mayor Strange is over there. How'd that feel this morning?
Oh no, Woo, Mayor got a shower. Oh, we got more showers. More showers. Oh, this is all in good fun. All in good fun.
That would be a penalty on both sides. That's kind of a runny nozzle, I'm thinking, Hewitt.
Yes, those are running nozzles. Those are running nozzles. We've got a couple of missteps. We got a couple of penalties.
Nice job, though, all.
Great job to all these racers. We'll get all. Hold up, fellas. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. Hold up. Don't go too far, gentlemen. Come on back over here. Let's have a quick talk. All right, so we're down here at the finish line. We've got the high schoolers. We've got a couple of probationary guys. Come on over here. Talk with me just for a little bit. So you guys push hard. You guys got a few things to learn as far as the combat challenge course, but I'll talk to you guys first. So what's it like being in high school and having to be out here and balance everything between schoolwork and the challenge?
It feels good. Like Mr. Jordan has said, it's not all about physical fit. We move mostly boot work, so we do come out here, we know what to do.
Absolutely.
We started off a little rough, but we finished all good.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So you guys did a great job, and you guys being already on probation. So what's it like being out here, and how did it feel running the course?
Felt pretty good. It was the first time in spirit volleyball. We never done it before. We did it in recruit school, but to actually do the course for the first time, pretty fun. Still got a lot to learn though.
That's all right. You guys did a great job. You moved pretty well through those disciplines. So these kids do a great job. They're learning, and they want to be in service. They want to be here to help the public, here to help Montgomery, Alabama. So if everybody could give them a big round of applause to both sets of kids being out here, trying to be out here and being these firefighters, give it up for them.
Nice job. And Hugh, and up next. And Jim. It's going to be the Guns and Hoses. So we really want to hear it from the crowd.
You bet, Maria. Up on the blue side, male tandem team Coke and French Fries Junior Edition with Anthony Story and Corey Gull. On the red course, male tandem Nice and Fat with Claude Belanger and Matthew Baca.
All right, so we've got Guns versus Hoses over here. And just so you guys know, Guns versus Hoses, we're going to have the local police crew going up against local firefighter crew. And who set it up with the blue and the red side? I mean, I think that worked out perfectly. We got the blue. Yeah, we've got the firefighters in the red, the police officers in the blue. Now, some people would see this online, Maria, and they would say, well, the police have an unfair advantage because they're not fully dressed.
One has a vest on. I'm always curious how much those vests weigh.
Does he have the baton in his holster? The baton is in his holster. That can't be right. That can't be fair. But it is Guns versus Hoses.
Let's hear it.
That's a 40 caliber baton.
Who's for the Guns? A few. Who's for the Hoses? I think we're a little biased here because it is the firefighter combat
Definitely
challenge.
a little biased here. Let's hear that again. So who do we have for the Guns out there? Who's out there for Montgomery police officers? All right, we got out there. And who's out there for the Hoses? Who's out there for the firefighters? Yeah, I would definitely say it's a little biased. That's all right. We're still here for everybody. We've got some penalties on both sides. We're going to have to work out those numbers. Firefighters looking. Oh, we've got a knocked over delineator.
That's hard to do.
That is hard to do. You know how strong you have to be to pull one of those things down? That's the first one I've seen knocked over all year. Definitely just knocking everything out of the way. I'm going to have to go down here and talk to these firefighters and these Guns and Hoses.
Nice job. This police officer has a great dummy drag coming down, though. Look at that. Let's hear for both sides.
If I could have all those police officers come on down here by the finish line, let me talk to you guys for a little bit. Hey there, big fella. All right, come on down here, gentlemen. So we're down here with the Montgomery Police Department, Montgomery Fire. So this is one of the things that we do at most of these challenges. We do Guns and Hoses as a show of solidarity between the firefighters and between the police officers in every city. So it's a great job to these guys. They've done really well. So you said you were, who's with 16 years, 15 years with the department? 15 and 16. 20, come on over here, sir. Come on over here, sir. So what does it mean to be out here and racing with the firefighters?
We are at a big disadvantage. We learned about this 2 weeks ago, but we will be ready next year.
Okay, all right. That's what I like to hear. Well, it's pretty cool to have the firefighters out here, and it's cool to have the police officers out here. So they're doing a great job and really supporting this city. So everybody give a big round of applause to our firefighters and our police officers working really hard and doing their thing out here. We really appreciate you guys.
And Hugh and even the mayor's down there. He wants to take a photo with both sides. I love it. Mayor Strange, we have to get you to run the course. Wouldn't that be fun? Look at that. Let's give it up again. Keeping the city safe. I love it, Jim. That was fun. Fun little break. All right, back to the tandem races. Who do we have?
Right, we have two male tandem teams. On the blue side, Coke and French Fries, Junior Edition, Anthony Story and Corey Gall. On the red course, Team Nice and Fat with Claude Belanger and Matthew Baca.
Mayor Strange just walked by me and said the rematch will be on the firing course. Little target practice.
This race brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. Availability, reliability, and ease. That's Sunbelt Rentals.
31 seconds off the tower. 7 seconds off the Kaiser for Nice and Fat. So for the male tandem record is 108. They could be pretty close. Can Matt Baca move it? Can he move it? Matt Baca and Claude Belanger moving strong. Just past that record, but they crossed that finish line with a 1:12.73. Not bad at all. Coke and French Fries, they crossed the line with a 1:17.31. We might have a penalty. Let me double check that. We've got a 2-second penalty. That was a misstep on that tower. So they crossed the line with a 1:19.31.
Matthew Baca, you're looking pretty fast out there. Nice job. As he rubs his belly.
You know, they had that tower shaking. I must say, y'all had that tower moving pretty good there. Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Up next, Hewan, we have two over 50 tandem teams on the blue course. The French Connection with Stefan Deshane and Mark Millward. On the red course, Falcon and Papa Smurf with Ken Helgerson and Carl Dickinson. This race brought to you by Nomex. Better things through better living. That's Nomex.
French Connection on blue, Falcon and Papa Smurf on red, over 50 tandem.
Hey, firefighters, all station teams, please meet Belinda behind the registration trailer immediately. All station teams, meet behind the registration trailer immediately. Thank you. All right, so we've got the French Connection crossing the line with a 142.75 and Falcon and Papa Smurf with a 138.75. Jim, we've got a really tall guy on the start line. Who is that over there?
Guy looks familiar to me, Ewan. Think that's Kirk Tanner, member of our team, member of our staff. Up on the blue side, over 55 tandem team, Old Vikings with Kirk Hightower Tanner and Andrew Kensis. On the red side, male tandem team, Pat Millington and Alec Nicholas. This race brought to you by Motorola. Our history is rich, our future is dynamic. That's Motorola.
We've got a penalty on the red side. We've got a running nozzle. All right, so we've got Lambton College. Lambton College finishes with a 118.09. We got a 2-second penalty on that 118.09, so they finished with a 120.09.
The penalties will sneak up on you today, and there are a few sprinkles moving in, which could cause some more penalties, unfortunately.
Absolutely, absolutely. As the Old Vikings finish with a 2:16.63. Great job to Andrew Kensis. Great job to Kirk Hightower Tanner. Jim, who do you have coming up next for us?
Up next, Hewen, 2 over 45 tandem teams on the blue course. This is Team Big Lake Trouble with Brad Johnston and Greg King. On the red side, it's For My Dad team with Anthony McMurtry and Mike Brown. This race brought to you by Lion. Before, during, and after the fire. That's Lion.
Tank, tank! Let's go, Kurt! Let's go! Quick feet! One like ground. You got him high ground!
All right, so we've got Big Lake Trouble finishing with a 125.31, and it's for my dad with a 125.14. Close race. Great job to both racers. Jim, who do you have next?
Up next, 2 over 45 tandem teams on the blue course. Team Isopure with Sean Sullivan and Tom Clausen. On the red side, Team Tanehoma with Rick Portillis and Brian Buchanan.
So it's an over 45 tandem, but look, Rick Portillis is over 55, yet he's still competing with the younger guys. I love it. He always shows up to show up.
So Rick Portillis, it says here that he's 59 years old. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm going to need to see some ID, Rick.
You can see his, but don't ask me for mine.
Absolutely.
Never ask a lady her age.
No, do not.
This race is brought to you by 3M Scott Fire and Safety. You push yourself, we push ourselves. That's 3M Scott Fire and Safety.
All right, so Team Isopure, Tom Clausen hands off to Sean Sullivan, the 2019 over 45 U.S. National Champion, Sean Sullivan. 2019 Fire Fit Chief Champion. Sean has a lot of awards this year.
He does. He's only getting better with age, like most of these folks out here.
Team Isopure finishes with a time of 120.60. Great job to Rick and Sean Sullivan. To Tom Clausen and Sean Sullivan, Rick Portillis and Brian Buchanan for Team Tanehoma. I think that's a combination of Tennessee and Oklahoma. I'm just saying.
Ah, makes sense.
Tanehoma. Tanehoma crosses that line with a 159.70. Moving right along, Jim, who do you have next?
Up next, Ewan, we have 2 female tandem teams on the blue course. We have Royal New Zealand Air Force Team Hex White with Isabel Whitaker and Carlotta Dalton Harvey. On the red course, Crimson Flames with Sarah Frazier and Shree Bostic.
You know, Maria, now this is pretty interesting. Crimson Flames, Sarah Fraser and Sri Brostic, they normally race against each other. But now they are on the same squad of Sarah Fraser and Sri Brostic. So this should be a pretty good combination, as we've got Izzy Whitaker and Carlotta Dalton Harvey from the Royal New Zealand Air Force, Team H White.
This race brought to you by DuPont, the manufacturer of Nomex and Kevlar, aramid fibers, the essential ingredient of every turnout set. That is DuPont.
Sarah Fraser's new nickname is now Cat Eyes. I like it.
Yes. Cat Eyes, Sarah Cat Eyes Fraser. No more Turtle. Turtle was actually a name that came from her first individual run in Arlington, Texas, just about 4 years ago. She ran a 6:20, and she's gotten a lot faster since then, so there's no need to call her Turtle anymore. She's a lot faster than a turtle.
Tandem teams through 60 to the ready tent, please. All tandem teams through 60 to the Losberger ready tent. Team Double Trouble to the ready tent. Team Double Trouble to the ready tent now, please.
All right, Crimson Flames looking really strong. Sri Bostic and Sarah Fraser moving really well. Don't worry about their clock, ladies and gentlemen. It is running. Team H White, Isabel Whitaker and Carlotta Dalton Harvey running strong. But Crimson Flames, Sri Bostic and Sarah Fraser moving really well. Sri Bostic and Sarah Fraser cross that line with 2:17.82. Great job to both ladies. Right behind them is Team H White. Team H White crosses that line with a 2:39.18. Moving right along, Jim, who do you got?
Up on the course right now, two female tandem teams on the blue side. That is Team What the Heck, Let's Do It, with Sherry Audron and Marie Schumann. On the red course, Team Czech Fire Girls with Hanna Havlikova and Pavlina Havlanova on the red side.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just got some information from Chief John that there are free fire truck rides. So if you'd like to get on the fire truck and see what it's like, just go right behind the stands. They have a fire truck right there in the street. You can see that flashing red light. If you'd like to go for a free fire truck ride, you are more than welcome. They're loading up right now. Take you for a free fire truck ride. Look at all the kids going. All the kids are like, yep, I want to go. Yep, me.
Yep.
Bring me right now. Yep, you can go out there and get yourself a free fire truck ride. Jim, I know you want to go out there. Who do you got coming up next?
That's Sherry Audron and Marie Schumann on the blue. Hanna Havlikova and Pavlina Havlanova on the red. This race brought to you by Kohler Bright Star, the official flashlight of the Firefighter Combat Challenge. That is Kohler Bright Star.
Well, announcing that the free fire truck rides are going on, cleaned out half the stands. I love it.
It literally cleaned out half the stands. I mean, once I said free fire truck rides, everyone got up and headed towards the stands.
And I'll see you a little bit later. Oh, wait, I have to stay.
That's all right. I can hold it down. If you want to go for a ride, I can hold it down. Watching these ladies do it, we've got What the Heck, Let's Do It on the blue side, Check Fire Girls on the red. Just so you folks know out there, right now, the female tandem world record is 143.49. That was held by Stink Bomb and Pukey. I love that name. Stink Bomb and Pukey, Olivia Walker, and Katie the Boss Ross. Katie, that's your new name. I don't care what anyone says. Your new name is Katie the Boss Ross.
I don't think she'll mind it.
Can I get a rep from French Team 59 to the registration trailer? A representative from French Team 59 to the registration trailer, please.
Check Fire Girls on the red are showing you how it's done.
Right now, we've got a penalty on the red side for a running nozzle. 2-second penalty on the red side. Right now, you've got Cherie Ardwan, the over 40 world champion for the females. She's on Rescue Randy. But just ahead of them, the Czech Fire girls, Hanna Havlikova and Pavlina Havlanova. They crossed the line with a 2:06.50. 2:06.50. That includes their 2-second penalty. Right now, you've got Cherie Ardwan and Marie Schumann. What the heck? Let's do it. Cherie Ardwan, like I said, the over 40 female world champion. She got her award last night. Cherie Ardwan still dealing with a back injury from last year. Crosses that finish line in 2:30.53. Great job to both ladies, to both teams. Jim, coming up next you have, sir.
I have 2 female tandem teams on the blue course. Team hashtag We're Not Sponsored with Cameron Williams and Tamika Brown. On the red course, Team Valkyrie with May Tomervold and Vera Laika. This race brought to you by W.L. Gore, manufacturers of Crosstech, the protective permeable membrane in every turnout suit. That is W.L. Gore.
Here we go, T, come on. Here we go, T, come on. Here we go, T, come on, T, pull. Come on, T, let's go, let's go.
All right, so right now we've got hashtag We're Not Sponsored going up against Team Valkyrie, May Tomervold and Vera Laika. I believe this is Cameron Williams' second tandem of the day so far. Cameron Williams showing that hustle as a CrossFitter.
Yeah, Cameron Williams, we were commenting on her dummy drag earlier, and that was just a few runs ago. Now remember, it's not just the tandems today that a lot of the athletes and competitors will do multiple tandems, but they'll also do a few relays.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, shout out to everybody doing CrossFit. You know, you got CrossFit Myrtle Beach. Tad Rubin was here. You got Cameron Williams. She does CrossFit. I know the Croatian sensation. I know Trisha Feynman. Everybody does CrossFit, trying to keep in good shape. Shout out to everybody at 1214 CrossFit doing their thing over there in Rosedale, Maryland. All right, Team Valkyrie. Team Valkyrie moving strong. Cameron Williams from We're Not Sponsored, moving well. Cameron Williams on her second dummy drag of the morning. Team Valkyrie crosses that finish line 2:03.55. We're Not Sponsored 2:08.71. Cameron Williams almost caught her.
She almost did. She, you know, her second drag of the day, the only thing I dragged this morning was myself out of bed.
Yeah, that definitely happened. We definitely dragged ourselves out of bed. We've had a long week here in Montgomery, Alabama, but a long and fun week. I must say it's been a really great time here in Montgomery, Alabama, and I hate to see the weekend. Definitely can't wait to come back and do another event here. Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Coming up next, Ewan, 2 female tandem teams on the blue side. That's Team Can-Am with Brittany Hoffman and Kelty Mae Nickel. On the red side, Team Double Trouble with Alyssa Carvella and Catherine Ross.
All right, we've got some all-stars here right now. We've got Brittany Hoffman from Can-Am. Brittany Hoffman is the 2019 U.S. Female National Champion. She's going with her teammate, Kelty Mae Nickel. Double Trouble has got Alyssa Carvello, a newly indoctrinated Lions Den member. And the women's world champion, Katie the Boss Ross, Catherine the Boss Ross. That's your name. That's it. It's sticking. It's sticking. Catherine the Boss Ross, you are the only lady to go a sub 2-minute race. Until somebody beats that, you've got to beat the boss.
She just earlier won the co-ed tandem world championship. Let's see if she can get another medal to her name. Hand off to Kelty Mae is clean, looks good. It's going to be a tight one, Ewan.
Let's go, Kelty! You gotta move, Kelty! You gotta move!
Absolutely, it's going to be tight. Can-Am in double trouble. Now the female tandem record is 143.49. We might have a new world record here. Wait just a minute. Just past that world record, she crosses the line with 145.27 to a 149.54. Double Trouble crosses that finish line 145.27. Can-Am with a 149.54. Great job to both racers.
Ewan.
Yes, ma'am.
Katie the Boss Ross. I love that new nickname. How are you feeling about that? And yet another medal.
It feels good. It feels good to run with my best friend. She's from Bonfire, and we train together, so it's nice.
Alyssa, what's it like? World champion, female tandem, not too shabby.
Yeah, I know, it feels really, really great. You know what? We all come out here to compete and have fun, and you know what? It's good to race with all these amazing ladies.
Well, congratulations to the female tandem world champions. Alyssa Carvello and Katie Ross from Double Trouble. They don't look like Double Trouble.
All right, Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Coming up next, on the blue side, male tandem team Fire Rescue Lithuania with Andreas Asmontas and Yaris Rumisevas. On the red side, Napanee Fire over 40 tandem with Kevin Duncan and Robert Howe.
All right, so we've got Fire Rescue Lithuania, the Fire Eagles, going up against Napanee Fire. Fire Rescue Lithuania moving really well down that tower. Fire Rescue Lithuania finishes the tower in 33 seconds, getting on to that Kaiser. Right behind him is Napanee Fire.
Fire Rescue Lithuania, the Fire Eagles. They have quite the fans in the stands.
Oh, they've got some support.
Look at that dummy drag. Nice job.
Fire Rescue Lithuania crossing that line with a 1:13.51. 1:13.51.
5 seconds off the world record. Not too shabby.
Not shabby at all. Napanee Fire crosses with a 1:46.58.
Coming up next on the blue course, over 40 tandem, Kamloops Team Associated Fire with Mark Rice and Mike Brown. On the red course, also over 40 tandem, Furious 40 Berlin with Mike Wycombe and Andre Kuhn. This race brought to you by Losberger, creative and aesthetic tent solutions. Product quality sets us apart from any other tent company. That's Losberger.
You know, Maria, big thank you to all of our sponsors. I mean, we've got All-American Hose out here. We've got Right in the Rain, one of the pads that I'm definitely using. I mean, that pad definitely works. You can write in the rain. You don't have to worry about your ink running. Bill Fox and Sons with those the rings for the champions. SKB giving away all our cases. Sunbelt Rentals providing these awesome hats that we're wearing. Paul Davis Restoration. Crosstech Fabrics, Simulades, Real Wheels. You know, I heard Real Wheels, they do some outstanding wheels. I can't wait to see if they can do a set of wheels for my my dually, which I plan to get pretty soon. I want to get me a nice dually, get Real Wheels to set me up right.
Where do you live?
Well, right now I live in Maryland, Northern Maryland, so I know I may not be towing anything or have a farm, but I'm definitely getting me a dually.
I drove a dually once down Hollywood Boulevard. It was not pretty years ago.
Oh yeah, they are pretty mean looking. Love me a nice dually. As Kamloops Team Associated Fire crosses the line with a 1:16.26. Furious 40 Berlin with a 1:23.55. Jim, who do you have coming up next, sir?
Up next, 2 over 40 tandem teams on the blue side. That's Team Made in Europe with Stanislav Kalvoda and Igor Pasek. On the red side, Team Firecraft over 40 with Steven Schreck and Todd Kruko.
Todd Kruko, one of our crew members here at the 3M Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge. He helps us out announcing over here and helps us working out a lot of technical difficulties over here. We appreciate Todd. Todd won the SKB gun case last night. That was pretty cool. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we do have free fire truck rides, fire engine rides, right behind these stands back there, behind those tents. We have a fire truck going up and down the street right there. They're giving free rides, so if anybody wants a free ride on the fire truck, you can go check that out.
Not just for kids, adults are welcome, because I'm going to go take one in a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely want to get in and see how those things run. Pretty cool to check those out, as we've got Made in Europe and Firecraft over 40 on that tower.
This race brought to you by All-American Hose. Hands down the toughest, longest lasting product in its class. That's All-American Hose. All remaining tandem teams to the ready tent, please. All remaining tandem teams to the Losberger ready tent. Team 65 to the ready tent, please. Team 65 to the ready tent now, please.
Made in Europe, looking good.
Made in Europe crosses that finish line with a 1:19.79. Firecraft over 40 with a 1:21.71. All right, Jim, who do you have coming up next?
Moving up to the tower, we have 2 over 40 tandem teams, both very impressive competitors on the blue side. Team Tuscaloosa with Bo Gunter and Matt Coney. On the red side, Team Too Slow with Sean Sullivan and Sebastian Vovko. This race brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. This is no time for second bests. That's Paul Davis Restoration. Visit their booth in our parking area.
All right, so we've got Tuscaloosa and Too Slow, the over 40 tandem. Moving really well. Tuscaloosa and Too Slow. Bodacious Bo Gunter and his teammate. Look at those eyes on Bo. They finished with a 1:16.72. Too Slow finishes with a 1:17.76. I just got word from our CEO, Dr. Paul Davis, that the Bluebell ice cream truck is now open. Bluebell ice cream truck is now open for business. I believe it's out there on the road. You can go check it out. Bluebell ice cream truck is now open for business, so you guys go over there and check it out.
While supplies last.
Exactly, while supplies last.
Well, I think the supplies are going to last for a while because, Dr. Paul, you did not bring either of us a treat. What is up with that, people? Oh,
Nice,
his wife's
nice.
bringing a box. See, you're married to a good woman. We love her.
Bluebell's got that good stuff, let me tell you. Jim, we'll bring you some ice cream when we get it. Who do you got coming up next?
You got it. 2 over 40 tandem teams on the blue course. Fast 40 Berlin with Martin Erb and Daniel Schemenk. On the red side, McKinney Big Sky over 40 with Shane Farmer and Russell Krasneski.
Look, you know I'm going to eat some. Marie, we got a box over here, just a little bit. Maria started looking at calories. There's no calorie counting this week, Maria.
They're actually not bad.
No, they're not bad
I'm
at all.
impressed. They're not bad. I think my breakfast, though, shouldn't be
Ice cream?
bar.
It's okay, Maria. It's quite all right. Let me see if I can throw this down while I'm announcing. So we've got Fast 40 Berlin and McKinney Big Sky over 40, Shane Farmer and Russell Krasneski.
This race brought to you by Lion. Gear as tough as the heroes who wear them. That's Lion.
McKinney Big Sky over 40 tandem of Martin Erb. These guys are racing, and we got a fall on both sides. A fall on both sides. Martin Erb with just a fall right before the finish line. McKinney Big Sky over 40 crosses the line with a 1:15.53. Fast 40 Berlin with a 1:26.79. Russell Krasneski just keeps cranking them out. Great job. Jim, I got my ice cream. You're going to have to take it from here.
Good to hear, Ewan. All right. Coming up, 2 male tandem teams. On the right course, we have Team Pelinovsky with Vit Malinovsky and Peter Moles. On the red course, Team Austin, Texas Black with Jared Johnson and Larry Potvin.
All right. So we've got male tandem team of Vit Malinowski and Petra Moles and Team ATX Black, Jared Johnson and Larry Potvin, hashtag Larry Johnson. What you guys don't know is I was mixing these two names. I was putting them together yesterday. Don't ask me how that happened, but I gave Jared Johnson a new brother. So Larry Potvin is now Larry Johnson. No, he's not. Larry Potvin and Jared Johnson from Team ATX. Good friends of mine, really hard workers from one of the busiest firehouses in Austin, Texas. These guys work really hard, get about 13 calls a day on average. Larry Johnson, Larry Potvin, my goodness. See, it's because I'm looking at Jared, thinking of you. I'm trying not to do it, I swear. Larry Potvin, Lions Den member. Jared Johnson, Lions Den member. Jared Johnson with the Texas State record just a couple of days ago, putting down a 120. Beat that Texas State record by 2 seconds. Great job to both racers.
I think it's brain freeze from your ice cream.
That's
It's
exactly
messing
what
up
it is.
the
I gotta
name.
put this thing down.
Have you heard there's ice cream on site?
It's absolute brain freeze. That's all right. I'm still tearing it down. All right, we got a little stumble on the tower there.
This race brought to you by Kaiser Sport Health, where good enough isn't. That's Kaiser Sport Health.
112.73 is the time to beat for the world champion male tandem. Let's see if they can do it.
Jared Johnson gets off that tower in 34 seconds. Has a 4-stroke Kaiser. Hands off to his partner, Larry Potvin. Guys looking strong. These guys moving really well. Time to beat is 112.73 for first place. These guys are looking strong. We've got a fall. We've got a fall from Pellegrinochi, 111.64. That is the top time put down by Jared Johnson and Larry Potvin from Team ATX Black. If I didn't know any better, I would say they wanted more out of that one.
111.64 is now the time to beat with 2 remaining tandem races. Jim, could it be the next 2? Who are they?
The next 2 male tandem teams on the blue course, Nov Insulation from Slovenia, Ans Habjan and Gregor Stanonik. On the red course, Hex Tandem with Domen Pavlik and Patrick Steffelin.
All right, so we've got Nov Insulation, Slovenia, Ans Habjan and Gregor Stanonik. Gregor Stanonik winning some awards last night in the individual. H Tandem, Domen Pavlik and Patrick Steffelin. Patrick Steffelin winning some awards last night. So we've got some World Champion Award winners at the start line right now. The time to beat is 111.64, put down by Team Austin, Texas, Jared Johnson and Larry Potvin. Let's see what you guys can do now.
This race brought to you by Bill Fox and Sons, the Super Bowl ring for our champion athletes. That's Bill Fox and Sons.
Both racers get off that tower in 32 and 33 seconds, respectively. They have good Kaisers getting ready to hand off to their teammates. Oh, these guys are moving. These guys are moving on this delineator course. Slovenia and H Tandem both getting to the fully charged All-American hose at 49 seconds. These guys may get time to get put up. They're trying to see who can have the better time. 111.64 is the time to beat. 1:11:64 is the time to beat. Let's see if one of them can beat it. They're both neck and neck. Wow, they crossed that line. 1:10:12 and 1:10:54. 1:10:12 put down by Nolf Insulation, Slovenia. 1:10:54 by Hayes Tandem. Just 2 seconds off that world record. Nolf Insulation, Slovenia with the top time now of 1:10:12. Jim, who do you have coming up next for our final tandem race?
Ewan, we have some lightning fast competitors coming up on the blue side. Coke and Fries with Ryan Hallam and John Betts. On the red course, Floribama Boys with Jake Lanier and Brian Reeby.
All right, so we've got Coke and Fries, Ryan Hallam, John Betts, and Floribama Boys, Jake Lanier and Brian Reeby. Brian Reeby, the Florida State record holder. Jake Lanier, our 2019 world champion. And what Jake didn't know is, Jake, I predicted that time last night of that 1:17. I said a 1:17.4. He did a 1:17.7. So I'm going to need 0.3 of a second, Jake, somewhere on this race. Let's see what you got now.
This race brought to you by 3M Scott Fire and Safety. More than ready. That's 3M Scott Fire and Safety.
You know, Maria, that's not my first time predicting a time this year. That's like my 4th time predicting a time this year and been spot on. I'm officially psychic.
I love it.
Jake getting off that tower in 31 seconds right behind him. Coke and Fries. Jake has an outstanding Kaiser. Oh my goodness. Brian Reeby moving really well on that delineator course. Brian Reeby, as I stated before, is the Florida State record holder. They get to that fully charged hose. Look at that form. Would you look at that form with that fully charged All-American hose? He gets to those saloon doors. He gets to rescue Randy. 1:10:12 is the time to beat. They're trying to beat it. 1:10:12 is the time to beat. 1:01, 1:03. Come on. 1:05. Come on now. 1:06. They get across that line in 1:08:84. 1:08:84. That is the top time in just 5/10. Excuse me. Just 5/10 of a second away from the world record. The world record is 1:08:35. And they put down a 1:08:84. Just a hair away from the world record. Great job. I can officially say unofficially that they are the male tandem world champion. Jake, you just keep winning. Just keep winning. Maria, who do you got down there?
I love it. I have the tandem world champs. Wow, Florida State champ, now world championship. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. It feels good to ride on Jake's coattail, the world champ. He's got a great front half. I got a good back half. We go together like peanut butter and jelly.
And Jake, just another medal. You obviously didn't do too much celebrating last night because you came out here and ran it well. And another medal. How do you feel?
Yeah, I had a few beers last night, but I knew we started early this morning, and I wanted this tandem championship, so I feel pretty good, and he's a good partner.
Well, let's give it up. Maybe a little carbo loading for Mr. Jake Lanier last night. Floribama Boys, male tandem world champions Jake Lanier and Brian Reeby. Nice job, gentlemen.
Way to go, Brian. Good job. Hey, you got the world championship, man.
Great tandem races. We love it. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
on stage in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
Excuse me.
Oh, hey, you're the new guy.
Yeah, I can't connect to Wi-Fi. I have a video conference.
Oh, follow me. In there.
Struggling to connect? Wow Whole Business Wi-Fi is easy to install and provides a secure, reliable signal in every corner of your business. Get connected and add Whole Business Wi-Fi to any internet tier for only $19.99 more per month.
Welcome back to the 3M Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge World Championships, live from Montgomery, Alabama. Hewen, those were some fun tandems.
Absolutely. It was really fun to watch. All categories. We had the over 50, we had the ladies running, we had the fellas running. I mean, it was a really, really great time. I enjoyed it.
A couple of the individual world champions, Katie the Boss Ross, you just tagged her, and Jake Lanier, also won tandem championships. They're going to need a little bigger suitcase to take all their awards home.
I mean, you know, when you talk about elite athletes, you know, you're talking about Catherine Ross, you're talking about Jake Lanier, you know, these firefighters, they're really working hard, not only in their regular jobs, but with their fitness, and that's what it's really all about. You know, mixing that fitness with their occupations, showing that it can be done. Just a great combination, and I really believe in these firefighters. They're doing a great job.
They are, and we have more great action coming at 1 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to switch it on over to ESPN3, and for those watching out of the country, you'll still get it on live stream. So join us 1 p.m. Central Time on ESPN3. Until then, thanks for watching.
See you later.